What is my skin type is the first and last question you should really ask. Your skin type determines everything else, but most importantly, it determines your ideal skincare routine. 1. Skin parameters. Our skin type is based on 5 parameters. 1. Age. 2. Presence of oil. 3. Presence of moisture. 4. Presence of problems, i.e., acne-related phenomena. 5. Presence of irritation or sensitivity. Age-wise. For practical purposes, we divide lifetime, as far as skincare is concerned, into the following age groups: 12 to 18, 18 to 27, 27 to 40, and 40 plus. If we had to give a name for each age group in relation to skin's look, the corresponding terms would be youthful, 12 to 18, blossoming, 18 to 27, flourishing, 27 to 40, anti-aging, 40 plus. However, there is no commonly accepted naming convention, so we are better off with the numbers. These groups are very practical for our own formulations, but in skincare overall, there are no standard age groups. Oil-wise. Skin can be oily, normal, dry, normal to oily, or normal to dry. Normal to oily and normal to dry usually refer to combination skin. So let's call it oily combo and dry combo respectively. We will consider the differences between oily combo and normal to oily shortly, and between dry combo and normal to dry. Hydration-wise. Skin can be dehydrated or not. Problem-wise. As we mentioned already, problem in our context refers to most common problems, i.e., acne and pimples, and general acne-related phenomena. Irritation or sensitivity-wise. We use two terms, irritation and sensitivity, depending on age, but essentially we use them interchangeably. 2. Dehydration. Let's explain a very important point about skin's hydration. As you will notice, we do not mention the term dehydrated for anybody younger than 27 years old, and for 27 plus years old, every skin type is considered dehydrated, with one exception, but it is not really an exception. There is a purely subjective reason we skipped the term dehydrated for it. We will explain it shortly. So the simple rule is, after 27, the skin is always considered dehydrated. It's either already dehydrated or on the way. Till 27, it may be dehydrated or not, but you should not worry about it. But why shouldn't you worry about dehydration before 27? Because we worry about it. Let me explain. Practically speaking, in many situations, people are not trained to differentiate between the water content and oil content of their skin. Even though our skincare guide covers this subject and tries to teach you to understand what is dehydrated in terms of water in the skin and what is dry in terms of oily skin, we cannot expect you to master this subject. It's just the reality. We named our skin types on how you would most probably perceive your own skin. You will not find the term dehydrated used before 27 years old simply because the girls usually do not relate to their skin as such. They say it is dry, and this dryness may mean either dry in terms of oil or dehydrated in terms of water. They do not distinguish between the two. Yet we must differentiate, and we do, based on other parameters available to us. So if you are younger, then you will probably call your skin dry, and if you are older, you will probably call it dehydrated. So be it. For all practical purposes, forget about this difference, as our formulations are smart enough to take care of dehydration when appropriate. Practically speaking, when you describe your skin, simply specify dry if it feels dry, and worry not about the difference between dry and dehydrated. Just remember that after 27, your skin is always to be treated as dehydrated, be it actual or preventive, so ignore the presence or absence or the term dehydrated in our skin types, as it makes no practical difference to you. 3. Naming convention. Another very important point about the naming convention. We use the following terms to characterize the oily content of the skin: oily combo, dry combo, normal to oily, normal to dry. What do these terms mean? Strictly saying, oily combo means that some parts are oily, usually the T-zone, while other parts are normal. So too, dry combo means that some parts are normal, usually the T-zone, while other parts are dry. This is called combination skin. Normal to oily, on the contrary, implies a degree. The skin is the same type all over, but its level or degree of oiliness is somewhat in between oily and normal, perhaps in the process of changing from oily to normal. So too, normal to dry implies a degree. The skin is the same type all over, but it is somewhat in between normal and dry states in terms of oily content, perhaps in the process of changing from normal to dry. You see the difference. Oily combo is partially oily and partially normal, while normal to oily is wholly between oily and normal. Dry combo is partially normal and partially dry, while normal to dry is wholly between normal and dry. In spite of these differences, we treat oily combo and normal to oily the same way. So too, we treat dry combo and normal to dry the same way. Why? This is so because combination skin really deserves two different treatments. For example, one set of skincare products is used for the T-zone, and another set of products is used for the rest of the skin. Yet for all practical purposes, nobody does that. That would be too confusing. So what do? We assume the status of the skin to be in between the two poles, i.e., we approximate, consider an average degree, and formulate the products accordingly. It comes out that oily combo and normal to oily are the same for all practical purposes, in spite of their essential difference. Why do we use normal to dry versus dry combo and normal to oily versus oily combo? After all, if they are interchangeable for all practical purposes, why don't we pick one type of term and stick with it? We indeed use both, and we do it for purely subjective reasons. We are trying to guess how people perceive their skin and how they would name it. We do it for those people who will not listen and will not read our explanations. They only look at the list of the skin types and try to guess theirs. Our naming convention was designed in such a way that these people will guess their skin types as correctly as possible. We are trying to read their minds. Thus, we have variations to what we call the skin types. 4. Minimal subset. A complete skincare routine is an advanced tool. It provides the maximum results for your skin, though any subset of a complete regimen is beneficial. For example, a novice of a younger age may consider a simplified subset of the regimen consisting of cleanser, scrub, and night cream, where the night cream is used as a day cream too. The older the age, the more extensive the minimal subset becomes, eventually including sunscreen, eye cream, etc. But in any case, a minimal subset would not be the optimum. The complete routine is your ideal in skincare. 5. Age groups and hidden characteristics. Division of the products by age group is worthy of a special note. Such a division may seem to be politically incorrect, since, at the end of the day, it is the essential characteristics of skin that matter, not the age per se. At the same time, there is a very strong correlation between age and certain processes in a body in general, and the skin in particular. We generally know what happens with the systems of a body with age, and skin is not an exception. Thus, we use the age correlations to make very reasonable assumptions about certain characteristics of the skin, which are particularly difficult for you to detect, yet it is not wise to discard them altogether. This makes our formulations very valuable. We don't overcomplicate things for you. We make it simple and straightforward, but at the same time, we don't oversimplify things for your skin. Your skin is getting superior and surprisingly very advanced treatment. You cannot imagine how much wisdom and experience is built into our approach, formulations, and products. 6. Summary. Now, after such an introduction, you can go through the 32 skin types and find yours correctly. In fact, you would only have to go through 8, as it is 8 for every age group. And in each age group, just consider basic variations of the parameters, and you can get straight to the magic of your ideal skincare routine. Age-wise, 12 to 18, 18 to 27, 27 to 40, 40 plus, anti-aging. Oil-wise, oily combo or oily to normal, dry combo or dry to normal. Problem-wise, problem skin, non-problem skin. Sensitivity, irritability, sensitive or irritated, neither sensitive nor irritated. 7. Attention. At times, in case of infection, for the best results, your ideal skincare routine initially might be combined with an RX medication prescribed by your local doctor. Remember, medicine cures you, while skincare beautifies you. The health of the skin and the beauty of the skin are closely related, yet are distinct qualities. The distinction is at times subtle, so keep it in mind.